Hello, I'm Sandy Allnock. Welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm an artist and online art instructor, and I am here to answer your questions. I know this is called an AMA, and that's usually live, but since I fail so miserably at live videos, I'm going from past questions that I've seen here on YouTube, as well as other websites, and I asked some AMA questions in other places, so I'm going to just offer up a whole bunch of different questions and answers. And if you have further questions, leave them in the comments section because I always look at my comments every day. There are some questions that I found would make a better full video. So look for those in coming weeks and months because I've added those to my list of topics to cover. So first, I want to talk about exchange rates. And I know for the people in the United States, you don't care about this, but my foreign students, y'all might have just suddenly discovered that the dollar is having a problem. Your money looks a little bit better compared to the dollar. And if you would like to just check out the prices again on classes and see if that's more in your budget. The site is supposed to, and I say supposed to, translate into your currency. It's supposed to recognize where you're coming from. But since the tariff thing has started, I've noticed a huge uptick in the number of people it randomly assigns to different places. So the way to solve that would be, one, to log into your account, because then it knows where you're supposed to be. And number two, if that doesn't fix it, then go to your account info tab inside your account and check to make sure that your currency is set at whatever your currency should be. And that should fix it. If it doesn't, let me know. My prices have not skyrocketed because I know for some people it may look like that, or it might look like the prices dropped drastically, but it's because it's in another currency, even if it has the dollar sign. And I find that all very irritating. Next up, let's start on YouTube questions. And I want to pull up this one from Jay Blakesley, who said something. This is not a question necessarily, but B Paper should give you some props for the great commercial. This has to do with, I believe, my video on using the Stipple paper, which is a paper that I kind of rediscovered recently. I had purchased it a long time ago. And that's what I wanted to address in this comment, is that I don't do commercials for companies. There are a lot of YouTube channels that do that. They get sent a bunch of product and all they want to do is promote it and get the affiliate sales for it, or they do it as a sponsored post and get hundreds of dollars to just mention that product. I don't do that because I want you to trust me when I say that I like something or that I'm using it, that it's a decent product. And I'm not going to snow you on that. So this B Paper in particular is one that I had a long time ago, even though they sent me a box. And the box I even got was not just a random, we're going to send you a bunch of free stuff. I traded for that. So that was technically not a free gift. For some companies, I do mention their products regularly because I use them. Like I am a Daniel Smith, Daniel Smith ambassador. And they do send me new colors and stuff when they come up with them. There's a few companies that do that. And those are things that I would buy anyway. I would still use them anyway. And that sort of thing. So I just want you to know that I am not one of those channels that's going to try to sell you stuff just for the sake of selling you stuff. The second comment that I pulled was also from the stippling paper video. And that one asked, so what papers did they send you? Because in that video I talked about I traded for something. I gave them an old pad from the 1980s that I still had, and they sent me a box of goodies. And the box of goodies included the stippling paper, which I had already had, so now I have 2 pads of it. They also sent this Be Creative mixed media sketchbook, which I don't know that I've tried or not. I have a couple of their mixed media sketchbooks. I don't know if it's that one in particular. They sent some heavyweight black Bristol. We also have one of my favorite sketchbooks, and I use this for a lot of thumbnails. This is a fabulous one, Be Super Deluxe, and it comes in all sizes. I have giant ones and little ones. And then they sent 2 pads of Bristol, because Bristol was what I traded them. And they sent me this one, which is the replacement for the Bristol that I used. I did try a little something on it, and it does work the same as the paper from the 80s. I haven't so far found any big differences. And then they also sent some vellum Bristol, and I'm excited to try that one out in the near future. Marianne Keller asked on my Tomoa River paper video if I had an outline for the elephant. I demonstrated an elephant while I was talking about the Bible journaling class that's taught on that Tomoa River paper. And I wasn't going to include the elephant because generally I don't post content from the class here on YouTube. So I was coming up with a different animal to use for the YouTube demo. But I have now added that sketch to a bonus lesson, so you get the sketch for free in that class, and then you can color it up any way you like. But I know there were some people that said, hey, are you going to do anything for us when we're not Bible journalists? Well, guess what? I have created a snack class with the elephant. So the little baby elephant is now on Stonehenge paper as a one-lesson snack class. And we'll be talking about how to mix colors to get your grays and your browns out of some more bright colors as opposed to using gray and brown pencils. So it's a really great study in color theory for those who want to learn more about colored pencils. So you can either get the image for free with no lesson around it in the Bible journaling class as lesson 11, or you can get the full snack class, which is just a couple of bucks, and learn how to color that one and trace it onto your own paper, whatever kind you like. I like Stonehenge. Now, this next comment got me thinking a little differently. Marjorie Bader 5754 said, I really think you should publish your phenology book when it's done. I consider a phenology wheel to be something personal to me and my community. I'm documenting what's in my world. So the idea of teaching people how to draw plants and how to draw animals and draw grasses and trees may not necessarily be helpful to people when you're drawing all of my trees and my plants. But I think the idea of a phenology wheel class or a nature journaling class might actually be one that I should put on my list. I would not only show my phenology wheel book and all of the things that I made in it, and maybe just do a really careful walkthrough of how I came about the different ideas, but also creating different types of journals that do the same kind of thing in different formats and at different levels because different people have different skills. I finished last month's phenology wheel for April, got all of my buds and blooms done. And then I've started on mine for this month, which is all going to be in alcohol markers. And it's all going to be the trees in my community that are not the evergreens. Because I want to start identifying those things in my community. I don't know what all these other trees are. And it's going to be fun to learn that and to look around more at the specific individual trees that I see around me. That's not going to help you because you have different trees around you, but that class might be something where I can incorporate some lessons about drawing different things in nature and how to approach them. So I'm going to have to think about that. It could be a rather epic class if it covers everything, but who knows? Thank you for the idea, Marjorie. Gemini asked, what is in my gouache travel kit? So when I go out sketching in gouache, and it always starts with my sketchbook easel if I'm going to work in a small sketchbook. This one I got over on Etsy, and I'll leave a link in the doobly-doo if you're interested in it. It works really nicely. It has this clip on the back that fits onto a standard easel. So I also use like a really cheap old easel that I picked up on Amazon. You can get any easel anywhere. As long as it's got a clip like this, it'll fit it and it'll hold it in place. But I've also, as you can see, taped a little list on the back so that I remember what to take with me. And I've broken it into different sections. So there's a pen. So if I'm just doing pen and ink, I'll take the pen and ink sketchbook and a pen. Don't need to take much else. Secondly, for watercolor, I take a palette, usually my little 6-color palette that just has the Daniel Smith Essentials in it, and then a couple other colors. Take whatever brushes I think I'm going to need, some water in a container or a bottle or something, some clips which I keep clipped onto my sketchbook easel. Things don't blow away, and I can attach it to the easel itself. A rag, a pencil, and a spray bottle, just in case I need that. For gouache, the other things that I take are my gouache palette, which I'm kind of struggling with right now because I have a couple of gouache palettes and I'm trying to figure out, is there going to be one that I want to take with me when I go out sketching? I take a mixing tile and then my brushes. I do have a little tiny box that I keep my brushes in. It's one of the boxes I got with my fountain pens and works great for the short brushes that I use from Richeson. So that is my gouache travel kit. And if you're wondering which sketchbooks I use with gouache, I love the Pentalics. Now, Sherry mentioned in a comment about revisiting lessons and giving new ideas for them. And what I have done from time to time is just pick a class. Sometimes it's a class with 5 lessons, so we do 1 a week or something. And other times it's an epic one. We've gone through the drawing class, the 30 days drawing class, and we just finished, well, I haven't just finished, but the group just finished doing 30 days of painting in April. And we did the 30 days to more confident watercolor sketching class. And I will be doing a recap of all of my paintings from that when I get them done, because I'm not done yet. I fell behind because, you got to pay the bills. But I'm going to be finished soon, and I will show you all the paintings and what I learned from them, because I did bigger paintings this time than I had done the first time around, because that class is done on postcards. Susan asked for something that I have seen many people ask for from time to time. Now, I want to start off by saying I am more than willing, if I'm working on a project and there's an area that has a mistake in it or something that didn't go right, I'm happy to share how I fixed it. Totally fine with that. But to just come out and say, here's my failures, even though I know people learn from others' failures, and it helps you feel more normal to know that a professional artist fails just like you fail, just remember you're asking someone to fail in front of the globe. And YouTube is a nasty enough place. I don't want to put that out there. Like, that's just not fun. So be aware of that when you ask people to share their failures. However, Susan, if you would like to see some of my recent failures, then I offer up to you a video that I just posted on Sunday on my Patreon page. And it's not behind a paywall. This one you can see for free. I'm changing up a little of what I do on Patreon for just a period of time because I have a new project that has interrupted my life. I'm going to be illustrating a storybook. And in order to do that, I have to knock something else off my plate to make room for it. So the drawing book that I'm writing is getting slid off the plate for a little time period while I get these illustrations done for this book. And in that video, I show you pieces of the failures as I tried to assess what medium I wanted to illustrate this book in. It's been a journey for the last couple of weeks trying to get down to the types of illustrations that I want to do and what style, and to try to render one on a giant sheet of paper. So go see that. Links in the doobly-doo. And for anybody else who's interested, you're welcome to go see that. It's not just for Susan. Now, this next question comes from Art Venture, which is my community at Mighty Networks. I pay for it, so it's free for you, although I do appreciate if you take some classes to help defray the cost of that. But anyway, at Art Venture, Kathy asked a question. She's finally started her Jumpstart watercolor class. Tell me an easy way to remember warm versus cold colors or cool colors. So Kathy, remember that it's not a law that you have to know every color that you are using and whether or not it's cool or warm. I try to think of it in terms of, is that color leaning more toward one direction or the other? So for instance, a red color. If you think of a tomato versus a cherry, a tomato is going to have a little more yellowishness in it. It's a little warmer of a color because it's got that orangey base to it, even if it's red. But a cherry is going to have a little more purple to it. And the purple colors are more on the cool side. So when I think of warm, I think of like having that kind of sunshininess to them. versus the cools, which are more like shadow colors. Think of the ocean and shade under a tree, that kind of stuff. For yellows, you can take a basic straight up, think of, your typical yellow bright crayon that's lemon colored. And you can either push that to the cool by adding some blue or green to it. And then it's still yellow, but it's got a little tiny bit of a yellow-green tinge to it versus a yellow that has a little orange or a little red added to it. The orange or red pushes it toward the warm side, and the green or blue pushes it toward the cool side. Now, the one color that everybody struggles with, and artists have fought about this for generations, is blues. Cool blue would be one that pushes more toward purple. So it's got a little more reddishness or purplishness to it versus having a little more blue-greenishness. And sometimes you only see those color differences when they're in relation to something else. And you can't see it just by swatching out the color itself. It just looks like blue. It just helps to know what they're going to do. If you wanted to mix a blue and a yellow to get a green, you could mix the warm colors to get something that looks more olive on the left, or use some cooler colors that are going to give you the brighter greens on the right. So that can sometimes help you in mixing, but you can also just get to know your palette and what the colors in your palette mix to become. And you will not need to label anything as warm or cool. Before I go, I wanted to give you a little Operation Right Home news. This is the organization that I used to run years back, and it no longer exists, but I still do get some emails once in a while from old contacts who used to be deployed and received our handmade cards. And I thought I would share this little note with you. The cards you sent to Al Dhafra Air Base in 2013 kept my mother, who has since passed, and me in such close contact during my 7-month deployment. Being able to send her beautiful handmade cards that I knew were made with love and kindness helped me move forward during a difficult time in my enlistment. I'm incredibly grateful for you as a human being, and I'm happy to have the opportunity to tell you. Thank you. Thank you, Laura. Thank you for your service and for blessing us all with that little note. So that is the end of my questions for today. And if you learned anything from this video, please hit that like button. Share it with somebody else if you think that they might gain something out of it as well. And just know that this is very similar to the kinds of questions and answers I get in my monthly open studios on Zoom. The next one is going to be May 17th, and you're welcome to join in that day. It's going to be about drawing, because I'm going to start a drawing here on YouTube that day, and we're going to finish that drawing on Zoom. I will see you then, as well as in a couple of days with a piece of art, and I will see you later. Bye.